Welcome back. So, this is the big one. I've been waiting for this auction haul for about a month. This is from the June Clean Sweep auction, and to say I went a little nuts would be an understatement. At the end of the day, I had to sell a lot in order to pay for all of these items. Approximately $3,500 is what this entire haul is. But it's also approximately 100 autographs. Some individual lots, some lots of 10 plus. So, and there's not a whole lot of baseball in here. There's not a whole lot of smaller items. It's generally going to be larger items. Now, some of these I'm going to try and quickly go through because it is a lot of material. So, if I don't say a name, whatever, it happens. So we're just going to go through photos. Old USO uniform. Rubenstein. Buddy Hackett was the only casualty of pulling things out of matting and frames. Some of these were an absolute pain because they were glued down. I mean, it was just a really poor job framing. This was a display with the signed photo and a signed note. So this photo got torn because of all the gluing that was happening here. Just took it right with it. So Buddy Hackett, and then there was a letter, well, Pledge of Allegiance, written in Buddy Hackett's hand. But the letter was glued down to the backing. So I had to carefully cut out the entirety of the letter. Good old Fonz photo. Billy Wilder. There's some larger names in here. John Stewart. And all of these, mind you, come with either a JSA letter, blanket letter covering the lot individually. Some have individual stickers. Some are PSA. Milton Berle. Neil Simon. Another one that was glued down, which I had to carefully peel away. Some are PSA. Joan Rivers. A lot of Jewish comedians to add to the extended collection. Billy Crystal. Ed Asner. Theodore Bickel. Red Buttons. Some of these are older photos, some of them are newer ones. When, obviously the autograph is possible for newer ones. Interesting piece here, it just kind of doesn't fit, but Allen Ginsberg signed photo and postcard. Did not expect that one. I saw them a lot, but you really kind of don't expect to see those too often. They can go for a bit of money at times. Zero Mostel. So this is a still from A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. You may know him from The Producers. Molly Pocon. You've seen her auto before in postcards. Alan, I forget the first name. Shelley Berman. Lewis Black. Paul Reiser. Of course, Jackie Mason. Soupy Sales. Sarah Silverman. Rita Rudner. John Lovitz. Richard Lewis. Neil Sedaka. Tony Curtis. Saul. Unfortunately, this photo is pasted to the letter. Kind of wish it wasn't, but might have to do work on that later. Joey Bishop. Some I'm just trying to remember. I don't have a whole list in front of me, so. Madeline Kahn. Phil Silvers. A lot of these are personalized, which I'm fine. Annette Fabre. Monty Hall. Myron Cohen. This came with the bum corner, if you will. And this one actually had an individual PSA. So first purchase from R&R auction, which I noticed. So Comden and Green. Aaron Copeland. Photo included with that. Cannot recall. Schwartz. Later known for a bunch of game shows. Kitty Carlisle. Quite surprising and expensive autograph. So this was in a mat. The photo above, and this encapsulated basically in the matting. A nice PSA slab of Jack Benny. And then on the back it has Harry Blackstone III. This is only the Jack Benny certification. Not a cheap auto, as it turns out. And then you have Henny Youngman. Old SGC slab with JSA sticker in there. Then we get to some Israeli PC. Shamar, Israeli president. Yitzhak Rabin. Kind of dark on dark, but you can see it better in person. Moshe Dayan. Yigal Allon. One you don't see, Rabbi Stephen Weiss. Ava Eban. Ehud Omer. And this is a great one. So Hussein and Rabin. So King of Jordan, Prime Minister of Israel. A very short period of time when they could have both signed this, but they did. Just an amazing piece. Ira Gershwin. Eddie Cantor. Dated 1932, album page. Gertrude Berg, the original Goldbergs, 1950s TV show. Also a radio program before that. Her autos are not incredibly common either. And again, this was quite a surprise. Louis B. Mayer, dated 1923, made out to Frank Pierce. So nice little check for Louis B. Mayer. So that is some of the stack. Let's get into more of these now. Alright, let's switch it over to some small items. So starting off, we have a triple jersey, Rose, Clemente, and Banks. Those originally out of Sport Kings is going to be a numbered out of 10, but let me pull out a little bit. It says Sport Kings Vault, so it is a 1 of 1 triple jersey. And yes, this is already spoken for by a certain Clemente fan. I got it for steel, so I'm not killing him on it. David Lloyd George, English Prime Minister. And 2 items for the Greenberg collection and the Arnovich collection. So, top we have a World Series ticket for Game 5 in Detroit. Tigers versus the Reds. So Greenberg versus Arnovich. And the deciding Game 7 in Cincinnati at Crosley Field. So, nice little combo of tickets. Got them for a lot cheaper than what I've been seeing basically everywhere. But happy with those. And additions again to both the Greenberg and Arnovich collections. So those are the smallest items I got, and the mid-size, if you will. But now I have to make some room because there is a giant pile off to the side of the bigger items. And big not just in size, but in what they exactly are. So let me start off with a few of the ones that remain in the matting. Playbill. Cannot recall the signature. Which happens. Oh well. Actually, I'm going to use this as a background. So this is 1977. Peace Accord, Begin and Sadat. Daily News out of New York. I'll put that in the back. Some of them are really good frame jobs. Some of them stink. Robert Klein. Milt Kamen. Shucky Green. Mel Brooks. Nice Blazing Saddles portrait there. Don Rickles. Let me move that up a little bit. I cannot recall. Lenny Kazan. Had to look up for a second there. Jack Carter. Then we have Sid Caesar. And some of these are better than others, obviously. And we have, didn't get Ben, but we did get Jerry Stiller. I do have some. It's weird. There's some that were kind of put off to the side. Signed dollar bill. Alan Sherman. Elie Wiesel, signed at the top. Carl Reiner. Simon Wiesenthal. A random album in here. Yitzhak Perlman. Old album. And good old George Burns. Literally old George Burns. Alright, so that was the matted, but not framed, section or segment of the portion of the order. And now we'll get into some small and some really big items. Really is astounding how much I was able to get. And hopefully you're seeing that, yes, I spent quite a bit of money. A lot of this I'm keeping as a larger Jewish PC. But some of these I will let go. Alright, so starting off, the least of the autos. I just thought it was interesting, and it was dirt cheap. This is Arthur Goldberg. Signed press pass. I think he's governor of New York, if I remember correctly. That is the least of all the ones I'm about to show you. Benjamin Cardozo, Supreme Court Justice. Dated letter from 1934. And the nice thing with this frame is it shows both sides. Big signature on the back. So we're up to the Supreme Court so far. We have a cut, Sir Moses Montefiore. And yes, we go up from here. Next up, first, I believe still only, Jewish British Prime Minister, Benjamin Disraeli. And this is also clear on the back, so it has his stamp. Or his seal, I should say. This is a mid-19th century autograph here. Well, the last two are. So let me clear these off now. Like I said, just small little auction haul. Kind of getting a lot of history, Jewish history in particular, which is always something you'll find on this channel. Next up you have from 1886, early days in law, Louis Brandeis, Supreme Court Justice. Letter written on his law firm stationery. His partner actually went on and unfortunately killed himself later on. But Brandeis, most prominent Jew to serve on the Supreme Court, probably. I think that's a fair assessment. Alright, so we have 4 more Big boys. And really big. So this is a ticket from 1999. Marcel Marceau. There is a program up here. There's a signed postcard on the bottom. So difficult to get it in frame with the limited space that I have. But it is still framed in a very large piece. Next up, we've got 3 more. We have David Ben-Gurion, signed while in office, postcard. And that's a original photo. And it's hard to see. The photo itself is from 1963, original. But I really bought it for the auto. Alright. Those of you familiar with Israeli history, familiar with the Balfour Declaration, and that is Arthur Balfour. Letter dated 1892, and photo is of that time as well. Again, this does come with authentication from JSA, full letter. Generally something you don't see too often. It's nice, Arthur Balfour. And now let's get to the big one. And autos of this individual are usually 1,000, sometimes more, depending on what is signed and date and everything. Got stuff falling behind me, so I'm trying to clean up off camera. We have Chaim Weizmann. This is a letter on the Daniel Seif Research Institute, which he founded in 1934. Letter is dated 1938. The photo on the left, which I did not expect, is a Type 1 photo from 1929. So, Chaim Weizmann, first president of Israel. His autos are quite expensive. Didn't expect to pick one up anytime soon, but this one went for a fraction of what it should have. And I think a large part of it, and I think a large reason why, yes, I spent a lot of money, but in comparison to what all these, everything could have cost me, it was a small percentage, probably 10 cents on the dollar. And it's really, I think it comes down to Clean Sweep is not seen as a non-sports venue for purchases. It's, if you want to get baseball, you want to get football, you want to get hockey, basketball, Clean Sweep, they have phenomenal items. Find phenomenal cards and autographs, without question. I bought some there myself. But sometimes even those auctions where you would like to assume one thing or another, always check out and see if there's other lots that are of interest, because you never know. I never expected to find this auto in a Clean Sweep auction. I didn't expect to find Arthur Balfour, David Ben-Gurion, all of these others that, Louis Brandeis, Cardozo, Montefiore, Disraeli, like these are monster autos and would be kind of keystones for a lot of people that collect Jewish history, Israeli history, even Supreme Court, in the case of 2 of them. These are big autos, which I was able to get for very, very reasonable prices. Something that fit into my budget, and thankfully I was already planning on selling a few items, so I was able to cover the auction and all the associated fees and shipping, because this was 72 pounds of auction wins. And like I said, keep your eyes open. Don't assume an auction house does or does not have something, and just have fun. Keep hunting, as you will find a lot of great items, and usually find a lot of great deals if you're persistent. So that's what I got for you this time around. The big haul from Clean Sweep Auctions June auction. So that's what I got for you this time around. Until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market or a YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. Have fun by being active in this community. So find your way of participating, whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to your LCS or local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more your PC will grow, the more people you'll meet, and the more fantastic friendships you'll form. So I thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.